A Love Without Borders, Leonor and Christian royal wedding that Croosed Notions. Imagine the grand palaces of Europe, the centuries of royal tradition, and the strict walls of duty that have always dictated who a royal could or could not love. Now imagine all of that, broken. Because what if I told you that Princess Leonor of Spain and Prince Christian of Denmark have defied those very rules, uniting not just two young hearts, but two nations, in a royal wedding the world never thought possible? This is not just a love story, it is a story that crosses borders, silences critics, and redefines what royalty means in the 21st century. The announcement shook Europe. Headlines flashed across Spain, Denmark, France, and the UK, asking the same question: how did this quiet bond between two heirs transform into a love so powerful it would bring monarchies together? The world has watched Princess Leonor grow from a shy, disciplined heir to Spain's throne into a confident young woman prepared to carry centuries of tradition on her shoulders. And by her side, Christian, Denmark's future king, whose own upbringing in a modern yet deeply rooted monarchy mirrors her path. Their union was not just a marriage. It was a statement. A declaration that love knows no borders, and that even within the most rigid of royal structures, the human heart cannot be contained. But this wedding was not simply a fairy tale. It was layered with politics, tradition, and expectation. Inside Madrid's royal palace, whispers turned into questions. Would the Spanish monarchy approve of such a match? Could Leonor balance duty with her own desires? And in Denmark, the court wondered, what would it mean for Christian to wed another future monarch, one who might, in time, outrank him in the eyes of Europe? These were not small questions. These were the kinds of tensions that could fracture dynasties. Yet, as the ceremony unfolded, those fears melted into awe. Imagine the scene: the palace halls filled with music that blended Spain's solemn grandeur with Denmark's regal heritage. Guests from across Europe sat in silence as Leonor, radiant in a gown that honored both nations, walked towards Christian, whose expression carried both devotion and certainty. It was not merely two young royals pledging their lives together. It was Spain and Denmark, tradition and modernity, past and future, woven into one. Still, for every smile in the crowd, there were questions lingering behind closed doors. How would their reigns adapt to such an unprecedented bond? Would their marriage bring unity, or would it highlight the challenges of two powerful thrones intertwined? And most importantly, how would Leonor herself, Spain's future queen, navigate the balance between personal happiness and national expectation? This is where their story deepens. Because beyond the glittering chandeliers and the breathtaking spectacle, lies the heart of two young people who chose each other in a world where choices are rarely their own. Christian, known for his quiet confidence, became Leonor's anchor, while Leonor, admired for her resilience, gave Christian the strength of her vision. Together, they crafted not just a union of love, but a partnership of equals. And Europe noticed. Commentators in France called it a turning point for monarchy. Analysts in the UK speculated whether such a bond could inspire a new wave of cooperation between royal families. In Spain, the public, once divided, began to embrace the idea that their queen-in-waiting had found not just a husband, but an ally in her destiny. The wedding became more than an event. It became a symbol. A love without borders, carried on the shoulders of two heirs who dared to challenge what was expected of them. But with every symbol comes responsibility. This is not the end of their story, it is the beginning. How will Leonor and Christian navigate their dual roles as spouses and sovereigns in waiting? How will their decisions ripple across monarchies already under pressure in a modern world? And will their love, as powerful as it is, withstand the weight of centuries-old crowns pressing down upon them? These are the questions that keep the world watching, waiting, and wondering. Because this wedding was not simply a moment in history, it was a turning point. And as the young princess and prince step into their future together, the world holds its breath, ready to witness what comes next. A love without borders, a union beyond expectation, and a story that has only just begun.